The secret strategy used by top investors to find unicorns. What does a successful investor need? Money? Knowledge? Connections? No, you just need to learn to think like a pig. Watch the video to get all the details. We have gathered 3 key secrets for finding unicorns in a single video and eager to share them with you. Discover what world-class investors aren't discussing, uncover the issues with conventional approaches, and determine if you can replicate their success. Natural disasters, wars, inflation, and market crashes do not hinder some investors from always coming out unscathed. Why do they succeed where others suffer massive losses? What if I told you that some investors managed to achieve a 340x return before the terror crash? How do they make substantial profits and manage to exit in time before the company's stocks lose a significant portion of their value? There are several secrets of world-class investors. They never share their secrets, but we have learned a couple of strategic techniques that we will definitely share with you. The Wolf of Wall Street are a thing of the past. The future belongs to the pigs. What about wolves and pigs? Investments are a serious matter, not a fairy tale about the 3 little pigs, you say. But some special guinea pigs taught investors how to act in order to become real wolves in a cruel market. Truffle pigs are trained to find the rarest delicacy, the truffle mushroom. They are attracted by the hormone contained in this fungus, which stimulates the animal's senses. By analogy with these tireless creatures, investors began to call those who are able to find a unicorn at a very early stage. These specialists invest in a startup at a very early stage and exit it, multiplying profits by several hundred times. But how exactly do they find unique startups? Do they use their senses like pigs? Of course not. Trufflepicks is a closed community of investors who have access to the early stage investing in brilliant startups. They have information that is inaccessible to the masses and insiders, which allows them to decide whether it is worth investing in a project and how much it can bring profit in the future. This begs the question, how do such investors realize in the early stages that a project is worthy of their attention? And here it is worth talking in more detail about the tactics of the so-called trufflepicks. How to dig truffles? The main secret is access to the early stage of the project when its shares are still worth of a few pennies. Look at the screen. In front of you are the leaders of the US stock market over the past 20 years. Their initial value did not exceed $1, but increased hundreds and thousands of times. Investors who invested in these stocks naturally made huge profits. But how did they know these penny stocks were worth investing in? And can a simple person just find the same startup and invest in it? Unfortunately, no. Large investors receive early access to the deal flow privately. For example, at the Shark Tank show in the US were represented such startups as Scrap Daddy, Everywhere, Bombas, etc. You can also meet a truffle investor at the private events. However, yieldfarming.com CEO David Malka said that in some cities and countries, the concentration of world-class investors is especially high. So he moved to Puerto Rico, where he met several truffles and began to get valuable information about projects at the early stage. So, the bottom line, the most profitable trades are opened by trufflepicks, closed groups of investors who find projects in the early stages when their shares are worth a penalty, and close these transactions with a huge return. And how exactly do they do it? There are only 3 main secrets of truffle investments. Secret 1. Too easy, too suspicious. If a startup or a mature project attracts a lot of investment and making a deal costs you only 1 signature, this is a garbage deal. The fact is that promising startups, even at an early stage, know their worth and are not just looking for damn money, but they're trying to attract strategic partners that will help them grow and open the way to meet other market participants. Good startups need smart money, funds that will influence the company's operation and strategies in the future. Therefore, they conduct a careful selection of investors. Remember, a company that grabs any funding is desperate, which means it definitely won't be the next unicorn. Secret 2. Alpha leverage. This is understood as investing based on unique information not yet available to the masses. Truffle investors get this insight by interacting directly with early-stage startups. Here, data analysis and the search for information that can tell more about a startup and its viability in the market are important. And a great example is the story of MindBloom. MindBloom manufactures psilocybin ketamine for the treatment of depression. Until recently, such drugs were banned due to their effect, but the use of the substance in medicine has made a real breakthrough. Those investors who became interested in MindBloom before the legalization of psychedelic drugs saw the prospects in this project, and for good reason. The use of such drugs has positive effects, making MindBloom a leading company in a new emerging field. If investors hadn't looked into legalizing psychedelic drugs, they might have missed out on another unicorn that could outperform big pharma in many ways. Uber had a similar story with legalization. In 2010, truffle investors already knew that ride-sharing could become massive. At that time, this information was not spread on social networks and the general public, and those who managed to invest in Uber at an early stage obviously saddled the real unicorn. So the second secret, one-on-one communication with startups and analysis of unique information about them will help you understand whether it is worth investing in a project at an early stage. Secret 3. Invest in the emerging market before it becomes mainstream. The emerging market is a business niche that's in its infancy with huge growth potential. Currently, this includes crypto, AI, psychedelic medicine, solar energy, etc. 10 years ago, such an emerging market was home sharing. In 2009, Airbnb shares could be bought for $0.01, but now they are worth at least 100. Thus, it is worth studying not just trends, but those industries that will only become in a trend in a few years. Not all of them, of course, will be 100% market leaders, but as a rule, you need to start looking for potential unicorns even when no one has heard of them. How to get into the group of truffle investors? The answer to this question may upset you. No way. More precisely, the chances are always there, but too low. There are several truffle companies that do market and startup analytics and offer turnkey unicorn investment solutions for their members. Among these are known Truffle Ventures, Truffle Capital, and Truffle. Truffle Ventures, for example, provides its members with direct access to the deal flow. They set themselves the task of finding at least one worthy startup in a month. The team includes specialists who analyze projects, make market forecasts, and conduct due diligence to understand whether they have unicorn in front of them. Yes, such communities are close to most people, but a worthy team of investors who are ready to seek valuable information, discover new connections, and benefit the project and themselves can become part of a truffle investment. So, you know what thinking like a pig now means for investors to be able to look for unicorns at their early stage. To do this, it is important to choose complex deals, listen to IFO information, and follow the emerging markets. Stay tuned and learn more for investors from our videos.